My dream was to change the world. And today that dream is stronger than ever before. I want to change the world for God. I was born in Mexico. My family was very poor. They smuggled me across the border. We didn't have a house to live in. We lived in a car for a while. We were homeless. And later on in life, my father was killed, shot to death by my mother. And then my mother committed suicide. She killed herself. By the time I got to college, which was in itself a miracle, I was very militant. I was an angry young man. I got involved in a lot of politics. I wanted to be a revolutionary. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to make the world better. But even that got to a point where I got very disillusioned and tired of it. It just wasn't really making a difference the way I had hoped. And I'll never forget when I studied about Jesus for the very first time and I saw that he was the true revolutionary. Jesus' ministry was about the kingdom of God, and everywhere he went healing the sick, he was feeding the hungry, he was feeding crowds, he was touching the lepers, he wept with those suffering, he was always with the down and out. Our world is radically changing. Christianity in general is radically changing. Most denominations today are rapidly losing their memberships. The next generations that are coming up now have little or no interest in church, have little or no interest in being religious. And many interpret that as they're ungodly or unspiritual, but in fact, they do have a lot of interest in being spiritual, and they do have a lot of interest in making a difference. I started out very involved in the community. I became a Christian, got involved in a lot of other things, and got less and less involved in the community and serving the poor. And now I'm getting more and more involved again as part of preaching the gospel, as part of advancing the kingdom of God. These churches that have gotten in the community, that have projects helping the poor around the world, they're drawing younger people, because for many younger people, first they've got to see it in action. First they've got to see the love, and then they begin to understand it. And there's nothing more important to me than preaching the gospel. But the old adage is true that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. A hungry person is loved when they are fed. A hurting person feels loved when they're healed. A suffering person knows they are loved when they have hope again. God designed us all in such a way that we open our hearts to those who love us. In Luke 9, the apostles come to Jesus and they say, there's too many people, there's not enough food, send them away. And Jesus says, you give them something to eat. Preaching the gospel is the most important thing that we can ever do. But part of that is opening the doors, opening the hearts, and opening the minds. Part of that is feeding them, taking care of them, and helping them. I believe the Hope Worldwide can help us to spread the gospel where traditional church methods do not fit or are even illegal. Hope can be the vehicle through which we are able to love the lost and have disciples of Jesus in every part of the world. I think that when we help the poor, we shine. When the church gets involved in the community, when the church reaches out to disaster victims or to another country, we shine.